Greetings everyone, Agion here, another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. Spawn on the south side as the blue Japanese with Rentar9. Spawn on the north side as the yellow Vikings, we have StoicSeaSlug. And we have the initial early game and whatnot, going for the initial goals. No point of trying to focus on every single aspect they do, because it looks like both players are going for the same thing. But the goats, turning the wood line, cut more goats. Curious if either player or the boars. I believe those boars were scouted out. And we do have both boars over here, and he's actually grabbing them now. Great timing. And we'll go ahead and collect the boar. Very, very little downtime. This boar is being collected now. Looks like the goats are being utilized by scouts, or he hasn't actually found them. He hasn't actually found all of his goats. Ooh. Has grabbed the other boar now. A bit early, I would say. There's spoilers. No, that's a goat there, not a boar. And it looks like he finally found those goats, which is good, because Blue almost snagged them for himself. Both players getting moved at the same time, both players being feet away. So far, both these players going for a very similar build. Though Blue is going for some militia, so is Yellow. So both players going for a bit of militia rush. Vikings do have increased health per age, if I remember correctly. And Japanese have increased attack rate. And do have the initial engagement, but looks like Blue managed to get his forces out all at one time. Will pick off one of those early militia. Could potentially jump inside the town center and get some few arrows off. So far, Blue has taken an ever so slight advantage with just one militia kill.
Yay.
And we have now Man-at-Arms. Man-at-Arms is not being researched even for Yellow. He's going to just try to stall. He could sacrifice a house, perhaps use a villager in order to heal it up. We're actually going to see no, those are palisades, no, not gates. And we'll actually wall off that area at the last moment with a house. There's still opening over here, potentially to be exploited, as well as this opening here. Perhaps the person should try eyeing a tower here, maybe? Blue is also kept on top of his villager production, currently at 25 versus 23.
Mandatum?
Man-at-Arm upgrade has been researched for Yellow. 45 health, 50 health.
Win.
We do have archery range coming on up, which will be a good item for defense. We do have a handful of skirmishers, so Blue already has archery range. We'll have a handful of defensive skirmishers. This palisade wall will in fact go down. Another archery range being researched. Most likely we'll see some sort of archery defense. And we do have the first archer on the build camp for Yellow. He's showing these walls in his boss, that's for sure. And something I want to bring up is OBS stats. There we go. Just want to make sure if I'm dropping any frames or whatnot. It appears I've dropped so far 0 frames. We have a handful of houses coming on up as well. He's plugging the gap with a blacksmith, and we'll find this not completed palisade wall.
Ready.
There are 2 man-at-arms here versus these 2 here. We'll get a pretty good focus firing down. It does take out one of the man-at-arms. Blue loses one, but now only this archer remains for defense, and getting some good hits there, that's for sure. Yellow Scout could potentially come on in. One of these man-at-arms is quite wounded. He's actually going to engage this scout. Could potentially kill off a blue scout. Does kill off a blue scout. The yellow scout will go ahead and escape on out. And keeping it alive, just throw it into a corner of the map, do the automated explorer. Never hurt. Because just having that thing automated explorer just can be so nice. Currently, villager production is slightly in favor of blue. Only by 1 villager, however. Soon to be 2.
Yay.
And we do have a pretty good defense force of archers here, but now there's a large number of skirmishers pushing it forward with support of an archer and 2 man-at-arms. We'll take out both man-at-arms. Yellow does have 2 skirmishers here now, but he's going to be outnumbered. If he pushes forward his own skirmishers, and let the archers fall back behind, he should be able to do some good work. Blue
Mandatum.
so far has better engagement so far, which
Ready.
actually is quite important. It has more forces here as well.
Yay.
Though a large number of units are quite wounded. If Yellow is able to focus fire the low health ones, that would be great.
Mandatum.
We have some more skirmishers coming on in. Just more skirmishers coming out for Blue. Yellow could try to do a transition with some mana arms. Maybe even a couple scouts. Or just more skirmishers, but he doesn't really want to invest food all too much. He wants to get out some villagers. And we do have a couple more archers on the queue. Wheelbarrow on the queue for Blue, as well as another villager. Overall, good dodges by Yellow. It is prolonging his forces and gets to lose another guy there. He's not in a good position. Perhaps maybe a tower would have been in order. Yellow seems to have a good army now and bring in a fresh scout here. A scout could potentially just force this stuff back. If you focus fire as a scout, it leaves him vulnerable to multiple volleys. Go into the high ground. In fact, engaging the high ground may have been a bit better. The low health scout also comes on in. He's just going to run away. He could quickly kill off a low health scout and then continue to run. But at this rate, he's just going to get picked apart.
Ready.
We have a couple spearmen coming on forward. That is going to give him a window and it'll force away those scouts. But
Mandatum.
skirmishers do extra damage versus spears. Let's see now. Let's take a quick look at economics. Yellow does have one villager advantage. We do have a market being built over here, and Blue's going for castle aid. So Blue's going to have a slight tech advantage. And getting out some elite skirmishers would be quite nice. Something got collapsed. Oh, looks like he walled himself completely off. Decided to destroy a house. I'm gonna let this guy's back in. He immediately going to build a palisade gate.
Yay.
He does have a good force here, but it's pretty wounded. He's going to try to get that villager. Will get some hits. Skirmishers are not exactly the ideal villager killer. And now he's going to be hitting the barracks slowly but surely. The early castle agent, so far, Yellow is not castled up or skewed the castle. There we go, he just got enough food. He's castling up now. And Blue could stabilize any sort of basement for the time being with a castle itself.
Yeah.
Something got canceled there. As this started building, and then he canceled, he actually lost a bit of income there. Or lost a bit of wood. So let's go to eye for some knights, castle age knights, pretty common. Horse collar is being researched by Yellow, as well as the archer defense upgrade, armor upgrade. Some of these villagers could be hit, though against moving targets, not super effective. We'll actually take out a villager there, and the scouts will go ahead and start to catch away some damage at the house. We do have some knights being queued on up, more archers for Yellow. Yellow may be eyeing for crossbowmen for his castle age, while Blue's going for knights. And it can go either way. He has quite a bit of force here, though, and hardly any skirmishers here, so he does have a good force. And if he upgrades to crossbowmen, that's a huge damage bonus. While Blue still have to get a large number of knights. Scouts here could receive some fire. He still has initial scout, so he still has the automated explorer if he would so choose. We'll go ahead and fast on forward because right now it's sort of gotten a bit quiet. Knights are now rushing on forward. And able to spot all those archers. He's on the high ground, gets damage bonus. There's a lot of archers here. Crossbows are on the queue. Crossbowmen are here now. Mangonels may be in order for blue, but there's quite a bit of good high ground up here. Yellow could just build a tower up here to ward away any sort of opposition, and then have his crossbowmen gain a pretty good defensive advantage there. We would have another town center going up for yellow, most likely more is going up for blue. We actually see one extra one for blue, but that's about it. Next, trying to force a way through a house. Could potentially go to the palisade gates. Maybe a bit quicker? Yeah, definitely quicker. And here comes a pretty good flanking maneuver. Forces these guys into a corner. Yellow also has a handful of his own knights. And we do have the elite skirmisher for blue now. Blue's knights are now, one of them's hitting all these crossbowmen, but he gets quickly focused down. Blue has a handful of knights here, more and more knights here, but there's just way too many crossbowmen here. He needs a larger group of knights in order to overwhelm these crossbows. And Yellow's knights are still quite healthy, including his second scout. The first scout, of course, went down, and it was pretty much dead.
Yay.
You have a bit of defense force here, one spearman, 4 knights, but not enough to dissuade this army here. Could potentially hold back these knights here. That spearman will provide some good damage.
Yay.
More spearmen here. I think that's the original 3 spearmen we saw in the game, earlier this game. And this is not a good position for blue. There's also a hole here as well. We do have a siege workshop being produced. These knights are falling on back, but soon this area will be under siege. He needs a mangonel. And he's far from it. The village is getting hit. Looks like he's let this entire farmland here disintegrate. And including here, you can see he's one more farmers, but he's ran out of wood, I think. Crossbowmen are in an excellent position. These knights are just stalling for his crossbowmen. We do have a mangonel on the build queue. That is a very necessary item at this point. No castles for either side just yet. And we do have a university going up for yellow. And we have a market here. So there are 3 town centers for yellow, and yellow has now quite a bit of a village advantage. Blue only has the 2. A bit of oversight, I would say. He needs to get out another one. He needs a little bit more stone, doesn't he? He has plenty of wood, just needs a little bit more stone. More crossbowmen on the queue for yellow. And it looks like he may be a popcat because the villager's not researching. We do have ballistics being researched, a very necessary upgrade in order to improve his capability for his crossbowmen. And I'm so surprised yellow actually backed off. He could potentially could have done some more damage. But playing it safe, doesn't want to lose his units to a pair of mangonels, which he has now. Lion gets killed. Go ahead and fast forward a little bit. It's quiet now. You can see here we've got multiple economic upgrades, more crossbowmen, more knights. Yellow's going to be eyeing for another advancement now. And we do have 3 mangonels here. This is a good number of mangonels. He does have a handful of knights, but it all depends on the splits by yellow. Oh! Ow! That just only... That was not exactly glamorous death for that knight. Imagine being pelted by stones from your own side, not even be close to the enemy. We have a forward siege workshop going on up, as well as another town center by yellow, eyeing for that gold reserve. Blue may need to eye pushing put a castle nearby this gold reserve here, because that's his next ideal gold spot. If he doesn't secure his gold reserves now, he may run into some trouble later on. Knights are coming in. They may find a great angle on these mangonels. He will find a great angle on these mangonels. He's hitting the back one, so they're getting caught up on the other mangonels. One mangonel goes down, two mangonels go down. Not even getting any close to those crossbowmen. And there goes all three mangonels. Definitely worth it to allow his crossbowmen to do some great work. And they're engaging from the high ground, getting damage bonuses. And he can't stop to engage that one last knight because he'll lose more of his knights to the crossbowmen. Look off that knight there. There's not enough knights here to engage all these archers. Another knight goes down. Magnol trying to push on forward. Magnol has a range of 7. His crossbowman has a range of 7. Equal range, so a good split there. Not a single point of damage. The second Magnol is pushing on forward. He's going to be focused hard on trying to get that other Magnol. One gets killed, another gets splashed. There goes one of the Magnels. Kills off a skirmisher. Minor loss there. Still 2 skirmishers left for yellow. And great hit on those knights. Something I would like to point out, Blue definitely needs more talent centers. He has queued up 9 and 6. Well, it's always good to have a bit of a queue if you're worried about beginning to queue it up. At that point, you really wish you had more production buildings. Villager count is 103 to 85. 2 more Magnol shots, both of them miss. Magnol does get 1 more kill and 1 more splash. But another knight goes down. He needs more production. He's finally got a 3rd talent center, but yellow has 4, so his villager production's on point. Actually approaching to the maximum amount he probably wants. Get some good hits there. Magno shot comes on board, but rolls a big miss. The other one will get killed off. Overall, great splits by yellow. And more in depth of knights. Ooh, is Blue decent? Nope, he does manage to respond now, but he's going to lose more and more of these knights. One more arrow will kill off that low health one. Pure Age on the queue for Blue. He's been great on his ages, but he's fallen behind on villagers by a significant margin. Yellow does have currently 999 stone, and he does have a castle there. Oh, I heard explosion there. Blue's going to eye to expand this stone line. Yellow has a castle on the high ground. And Blue's exhausting the rest of his gold. He needs to get some 4 defenses over here. He needs to secure that gold line. If he doesn't, he's going to be already low on gold. Besides this gold, there's a gold deposit way over here. Way over here. And yeah, this is the largest pile near his base. So he needs to secure this point. He needs to get a castle, town center, towers, something here. Another town center does go on up next to this stone. He still has this bit of stone here as well.
Ready.
Pikemen are here. There would be that's a perfect item to ward away against the knights, but it doesn't have a whole lot of knights. Actually, oh crap, I missed this. Knights are up here hitting this gold line. Multiple villages down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 and 6 are down. It's going to force a response. Ooh, and the Magnus wipes out a large group of crossbowmen. This split attack is straining the yellow player to his maximum limit. There's a large number of pikemen here. He needs to get these knights just to run away. He just needs to run.
Ready.
These crossbowmen are way outnumbered, or significantly reduced. Not outnumbered, but really reduced. They are not exactly effective anymore. We do have a large wave of Imperial skirmishers, not Imperial, Elite skirmishers coming on out. Elite skirmishers are a good item to his opponent's composition. They're excellent versus crossbowmen, and they do bonus damage versus pikemen. And oh, another deadly hit by a Mangonel. But these pikemen are actually able to close on these Mangonels. Rolls a miss there, does get a good hit there, but kills off his own Mangonel, and I have a gnat flying around me. Loses 2 Mangonels to pikemen. While they did pay themselves in the end, you don't want to lose these units to just pikemen. They're supposed to kill the pikemen, not be killed by the pikemen.
Yay.
These skirmishers are not in a large enough number to be able to attack, but they will sink quite a bit of damage here. Thumbbeat brings being researched now. He needs to get these guys out. He has queued up a large number of elite skirmishers, but he needs more production facilities. He's just, in order to match his economic output. He will be taking out these crossbowmen now. Come some pikemen as well. Yellow has split up his force. It's not going to be all too well, and there's now a dangerous amount of pikemen here. We do have rams here, which rams are a good item versus these pikemen. Castle being built a bit far forward, and it may be seen there's multiple rams. He has seen that both rams are going to converge on the castle. The castle needs to be canceled. He won't be able to get the castle into a suitable position. The skirmishers will take quite a bit of time to kill off all these pikemen, and they are receiving quite a bit of damage to them. He needs to cancel this castle now. The village is now getting hit as well. Is he going to lose it? If he cancels it, he gets about, what, half of his stone back? And I think that was a cancel right there. 8 on for this skirmish production. He needs more archer ranges. He also may need to garrison this town center. This town center is being attacked by the pikemen. Okay, the skirmishers are engaging some of the capped rams. Capped rams are currently hitting the house here. He needs to retarget something a bit more valuable, such as the town center itself. The house is not so much. Village is going down to the pikemen as well. It does have 111. His opponent has 140 villagers, which in order to support this cheaper production, he may need it. The town center is seeing quite a bit of fire now, and looks like Cap Rams will finish off the town center, no problem. All of his skirmishers are hitting this capped ram. In fact, it looks like a handful of villagers are going to be trying to shank the rams themselves, which they are probably a bit more effective than all the skirmishers, to be honest. Looks like Blue does have a council up here. He has secured up his gold line, which is very important. But they're both in Pure Age, so trebuchets are all fall out of the way, and these rams are going to be quite annoying as well. Multiple villagers going down. Ooh, he's down to 107. This town center still could go down. He needs to shank that Capran as soon as possible. Loses the town center. He was way too late. He should have actually just used villagers to shank it before it actually got close to it. More and more of these Caprans moving forward. We do have a handful of skirmishers as well as a handful of berserkers. Berserkers, of course, fast, have good health, and health regen. So they're excellent items versus the skirmishers. They do have armor of 5, so the skirmishers only do about 3 damage. But he will have trouble with the castle itself. But he has multiple rams here. We also got some not shogun, but samurai coming forward. Samurai needs to be hitting those berserkers. They get ripped apart by those skirmishers. More samurai moving on forward. We'll be taking out the capped rams. Is if they able to stop these capped rams, this council can deal with the skirmishers themselves. Blue has a huge number of skirmishers here. He needs to attack the skirmisher line. Berserkers are here as well as the remaining of his crossbowmen. There you go, the capped rams down to 2 more reinforcing capped rams. And looks like the samurai will be killed off. Blue has a critical mass of skirmishers here. And I hear this monk somewhere. Ah, we got a monk way back here. I like seeing monks for healing. That berserker did not last very long versus a samurai. And Blue's trying to make his counterattack, but he needs siege. He needs trebuchets or rams of his own to engage his castle, because his samurai and skirmishers will not be able to approach. More and more berserkers coming forward, but they're getting streamed in one by one. He needs a larger group of them. Yellow's bringing some trebuchets as well as capped rams. He could potentially throw in these skirmishers inside the capped rams to make them move fast and attack harder, hit harder. We do got a handful of long swordsmen to assist the berserkers because they have faster production rate and not fail entire Taylor's castle. More and more of these capped rams are going down. There's a large number of Vikings here as well as samurai mixed in. Champions, no, two-handed swordsmen are here. Trebuchets now engaged in the castle. These two-handed swordsmen are going to be very problematic. There are a handful of samurai here. It looks like the castle may in fact go down. He still hasn't harvested much of this gold. And it looks like the castle will in fact go down. He's starting to repair it, but too late. He does not have enough stone for another castle. He can throw a couple towers out. Hopefully he has the power upgrades. Mangonel is here. It's a good item for all the skirmishers. Gets a great hit there. But does go down. But fires one more volley. Gets another good hit. Trebuchet does in fact go down. Berserker's still being streamed on in. There's no more samurai because I think that was his only castle. More skirmishers and berserkers being queued on up as well. It looks like the siege ram upgrade. Berserker's being very problematic in Blue. He's lost quite a bit in number of forces. Building a forward barracks, but the barracks is not in great position, and it will absorb some shots away from this gold line that may be his intention.
Ready.
These halberdiers or pikemen are not going to last very long versus all of these skirmishers. And there's just still these couple, just a handful of berserkers just being very problematic. Another trebuchet. Oh, did that get killed? I wonder if that got canceled or killed. Ah, no stone, it got killed. Or no, he queued up another castle, so I think he canceled it. So a lot of skirmishers on both sides now. But it looks like Blue will come out ahead ever so slightly. Siege rams on the build queue, 3 of them, plus a Mangonel. And one of the relics have been grabbed by Yellow. Berserker here does kill off another halberdier. And there's a large number of berserkers here. With support and all these skirmishers, these berserkers are going to do some good work. Castle's been built, but it's not covering the gold line. The gold is not even harvested as well. Based on the gold income, Blue's not harvesting any sort of gold. Yellow, however, has re-established a far gold line. And over here, nope, that's just a bunch of villagers showing the gold line over there. Siege rams now engaged in the barracks. That barracks will not last very long. We do have a handful of halberdiers here to engage these siege rams, but there's berserkers escorting them. Does take out a siege ram there. This one's quite low in health. Berserkers all go down. He has one halberdier left. He's actually pulled off the villagers shanking the siege rams. And we also have another berserker running up forward. One of the siege rams in fact goes down. He still has one left remaining, but that castle's still pretty good in health. More and more siege rams being rallied on board. The damage trebuchet is going to be brought forward. It has nothing really to move forward and engage, so it's going to get some good work done. Berserker is still very problematic. The stream them in allows his own skirmishers to get some good work. Yellow's still going to build a forward castle. This forward castle can be quite deadly because Blue doesn't have any sort of siege work, so to counter attack. He has spotted the castle now, but skirmishers are not exactly the highest damaging item. He's going to focus the trebuchet before he focuses the castle. Does stop the trebuchet. He has a large number of villagers here. He needs to shake these siege rams now. Maganel gets a great hit, and now we have a forward castle by Yellow. This forward castle is going to be very problematic. Blue needs to build his own trebuchet, but it looks like he's not. He doesn't have enough gold. Villagers do manage to shank one of the trebuchets. He's going to shank the other. Just one remaining. This gold deposit hasn't spotted. It hasn't been tasked with. He's tasking it now with the mine. And there's a large number of berserkers here, a significant amount. And there are elite berserkers as well. This can easily do a significant amount of damage to these skirmishers. These berserkers going to fall back in order to regenerate their health because they have that ability. Oh, and it looks like the last samurai will in fact go down. I see some hussars being on the build queue, which hussars are a good item. They're in good potential flank position. Actually, he's going to go just harass with them. There are stone walls in the generator, but there's still some exposed areas for those hussars to make some good work. The fact is, we got not hussars, but just light cavalry. Yellow's currently building a trebuchet, so is Blue. Blue needs that trebuchet to engage the Yellow castle. There's a large number of berserkers here, so Blue's trebuchet won't last very long. Blue's trebuchet has been built. Not a whole lot of guys building on that stone line. Blue only has 95 villagers as well. And he needs a bit more wood. He has plenty of food. He just needs more production structures. He's queued up so many, light cavalry, but he just needs more production structure because he just can't produce fast enough. He has plenty of food, but not enough stables to make light cavalry. Looks like Blue's going to eye for a counter barrage on top of the Yellow trebuchet, but the inaccuracy is being very problematic. And the Berserker's going to just go straight for the trebuchet. He will rip apart that trebuchet, no problem. Blue's castle is severely wounded. Yellow's castle has hardly sustained any damage. And all these skirmishers being ripped apart by the Berserkers. And they just get collapsed on. I don't know how Blue's going to get back in the game. He has no gold income. Yellow still has gold income. And this castle, his final hardpoint here, is keeping siege. If I were to be destroyed, he decides to just go ahead and surrender. I don't blame him. Yellow played an excellent game. This is Agion saying thank you for watching and signing off.